Well, hello. And I did say hello. That is too funny. Hello, beautiful, beautiful people. My name is Cynthia Mobley Howell, and I am the founder of How Well Are You? So, welcome to How Well Are You, aka Shine. Here we focus on shifting habits, inspiring nutritional empowerment. That is what SHINE stands for, the acronym SHINE. Shifting habits, inspiring nutritional empowerment. Here at How Well Are You, we're dedicated to a holistic approach to health and wellness, believing that true well being encompasses the spirit, the soul, and the body. Inspired by 1 Thessalonians 5:23, we strive to nurture and restore each individual's entire being. Spirit, we encourage spiritual growth and alignment, fostering a deeper connection with faith and purpose. Soul, we support emotional and mental well being through compassionate care and transformative practices, or should I say transformative? Can't get my talking right here today. Practices. And the body, where we promote physical health through personalized and integrative strategies for optimal vitality. Our goal here is to guide you on a journey toward balance and vitality. There's that word again. We want to ensure that each aspect of your life is nurtured and thriving. That said, I am super, super excited because I think I'm finally figuring something out. A few years ago, I was really heavy into the mental health advocacy. How did I become a mental health advocate? Well, I'm one of four siblings, the youngest and the only girl, and I grew up in a household where all of my siblings, they were all brothers. I just said I was the only girl. All of my brothers were affected by a severe mental illness. And I think it was around 2016 when I started writing my book, which has since been published. Crazy Didn't Get Me, Preparation for My Destiny. And you can find that information regarding my book um, in the section, in the more section. And that'll lead you to my website where you can actually find out more about my book that was released actually last year. So I started writing the book, and it's funny how growing up in a household with siblings who were mental ill, there was always stuff popping off because there were three of them. So if one was cool, then another one would pop off. And if two were cool, then the one would pop off. Or, it was just always some type of drama going on in my household. So as I started to say, when I finally made it to the other side of all of that, I would jokingly say to people, I'm going to write a book. And it was really a self-fulfilling prophecy because I don't really think I had intended to write a book, but I was just saying it. I just kept saying, I'm going to write a book, I'm going to write a book. And guess what? I ended up writing the book. But I said that to say around 2016, I decided that I wanted to share via Facebook Live that I was writing a book and what my book was about And my goal was to be totally transparent in that Facebook Live about my experience growing up in a household with mental ill siblings, all of them. So I remember when I started marketing that I was going to be doing this Facebook Live on one Sunday evening, and the title of it was Shh, Don't Tell Nobody. Well, folks was coming in on that live because, baby, everybody likes a good old secret. And they're like, oh my God, what is she about to drop? What is she about to drop? And there's a whole lot of background to that, the town where I was raised, uh, the whole family dynamic, as far as who my family was. I was raised in this very strict Christian environment. My daddy was a deacon in the church. My mama was a psalmist. My parents were very well respected in our community. And so people was like, oh boy, we about to get some dirt on the Mobley household. So that I remember that first Facebook Live that I did. People, like I said, they were in there. They were waiting. I think I did started like at 8 o'clock. And when I came in, baby, they were in there. Bing, 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 I'm here. And so I shared with them that I was writing a book. And when I told them what the book was about, although people who lived on my street and some of the people in my church knew what was going on, nobody really knew the depth of what was happening at 1002 East Ninth Court, aka Elm Street. I was going to subtitle my book Nightmare on Ninth Court, but I ended up subtitling it something else because it literally was a nightmare growing up in that type of environment. But anyway, I released that I was writing a book and what it was about. And I was so amazed at the support that I received. And by being transparent, other people started talking about some things that were going on, and it allowed them to be transparent. So every Sunday evening for a good little while, I eventually stopped. I was doing a Facebook Live talking about mental illness, mental health awareness, mental well being, whatever, however you want to term it. And it was good. People were engaging. So when the pandemic hit and a lot of celebrities started coming out, if you will, and talking about their struggle with mental wellness or mental illness or mental health issues, I felt like I was already a step ahead of the game because I had already come out in 2016 to talk about it because I decided, which is my mantra, by the way, I'm not keeping quiet anymore. I decided that I wasn't keeping quiet anymore because of what my family suffered, because of what my family went through, um, and staying silent. We paid a very high price for keeping quiet. And when you purchase my book, you will see the full disclosure of the high price that we paid. Unfortunately for my brothers, their stories did not end well. My oldest brother, at the time they called it manic depression, but now they call it, bipolar. My oldest brother suffered from bipolar disorder, and you'll see how things ended up with him in the book. Not good. My middle brother is schizophrenic. His story did not end up well. And my youngest brother is also schizophrenic, and his story did not end up well. So my family paid a very, very high price for keeping quiet. So I decided I'm not keeping quiet anymore. And I meant that thing. So yes, I finally finished the book. I finished the book in 2017 and it was my goal to publish it in 2017, but life was life and things were happening. The book did not get published in 2017, and I went through so much between 2017 and 2023 before that book was finally released. So many obstacles, so many challenges. You all would not believe what I went through, but I was determined. When I tell you I was determined to release that book. And I did. Well, I almost got a quickening right there. Just so y'all know, I am a woman of faith. So I felt something. I felt something. But anyway, I released the book. The book is doing well. Um, it's just, oh my God. After I released the book and people began purchasing the book, the stories that I heard, people were DMing me, hitting me up in my inbox on Facebook, talking about the things that happened in their household. And some of it was shocking because these were families in my community that were prominent, educators and, the people that my family looked up to. They were going through some stuff, y'all. But I am so glad that I decided to not keep quiet anymore because that freed so many other people to not keep quiet. And I realize that people are still keeping quiet and people are still suffering in silence. But I believe with everything that's within me that I have opened up a door so that people are able to express themselves and talk about mental health without feeling ashamed and without dealing with the stigma that's attached to it. So that was my primary focus from like 2021 to 2023. I was just like, you know, um, on the grind, for lack of a better word, with my advocacy, blasting on my social media platforms, doing speaking engagements, you know, Facebook Lives, and just talking about mental illness. Then something happened. In the meantime, while I was heavily involved in the mental health advocacy, I was also struggling with something. I was struggling with my weight. And I had been struggling with it for quite a few years. Um, Around 2015, I believe it was, I had gained a significant amount of weight and I was having a hard time getting it off. Before that, I was at a decent size. I was running every day. I was eating okay. I had taken most meat out of my diet. The meat that I was eating was mostly poultry and fish. And I would eat some pork every now and again, but it was mostly poultry and fish. And at some point, to make a long story short, and I'll probably go back at another time and kind of just really give you a blow by blow. Um, I just couldn't get my weight under control. So I was like about 55, 56 years old and about to buy into that whole thing about, the older you get, your metabolism slows down. And I do believe that. And look, I'm telling you, at this particular point, I was doing everything that I could think of: pills, teas, slim fast, exercising. I mean, I was I was doing it all. Wished I could have afforded surgery, and I'm glad I couldn't because now I see that I didn't need it. But I was like struggling. I was up at one point to like a size 16, and I know some of y'all like 16. I wish I could get to a 16, but I'm telling y'all, I looked like a little Miss Piggy. And I'm not short, I'm not tall. I'm like 5'5". I say 5'5.5". I like to get that half in. I like to get that half in. And I I thought I looked good though. Cause see, I always had like a small waistline. And I was always able to, my weight was distributed in a nice way. But y'all, I was big. And I didn't like the way I looked. So I struggled down to size 14. And I still wasn't satisfied because I just did not look good. And because I didn't look good, I didn't feel good. And I didn't realize at the time that I had some, underlying chronic illnesses going on until a little bit later when in 2017 I relocated back to my hometown, still dealing with this wanting to lose weight issue. By this time now, I'm a pescatarian. So I'm not eating any meat except fish, and I'm eating vegetables. I'm running like 5 days a week, 3, 4, 5 miles a day. I mean, doing all the things. And the weight, I'm just not losing any weight. I'm like at a solid 14, solid size 14. And like I said, I go back and look at the pictures. I thought I was looking good then. I really did. But when I go back and look at those pictures now, y'all, I'm like, girl, you was big. I ain't mad at nobody. Don't get mad at me. Don't come at me in the comments. You can come at me, but just be respectful because I'm open and I understand people have their opinion and I understand this is social media. So when I come on here and I say what I say, I expect people to say what they say, but just be respectful. That's all I'm asking is that you be respectful because I'm trying to be as respectful as I can as I speak to you. So I was a big girl. I see that I'm right at about almost 19 minutes now, and I don't want to make this too long. So there's going to be a part two. There's going to be a part two. So I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to come back again with part two because, like I said, I don't want to make this too long. So I want you to make sure that you like, that you comment, that you subscribe, and that you share. Because I'm getting ready to take you on a journey. I am getting ready to take you on a journey that you are going to love. God willing, life lasts. I will be turning 65 years old in October. And I tell you, I feel like I'm 40. How you see me now is not how you saw me 6 years ago. I am now 70 pounds lighter and the rest is history. So I guess you say, what does that have to do with mental advocacy? Well, I'm going somewhere with that. Told you that story about the whole mental illness, mental wellness piece for a reason, because I've been struggling for a couple of years to determine how to integrate that whole mental wellness piece with that whole physical wellness piece. Because, y'all, it's all connected. Remember, I said, here we are about the spirit, the soul, and the body. The spirit, the soul, and the body. So I wanted to give you a little prelude to what is to come. And when I come back, I'm going to talk about my weight loss journey and success. Again, 70 pounds lighter, 6 years later. I'll be 65 in October, God willing, life lasts. And I feel like I'm in my 40s. I ain't lying. Your girl feels good. So when I come back, I'm going to tie it all in so that you can understand where I'm headed on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to hearing from you in the comment section. You have an amazing day. Peace and blessings. And I'll see you the next time.